TM coat pretty much towards there. So I'll start the cotton towards that area there, and that's about it.
We have 4 zeros if you want.
We got 4. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
4 zeros.
All right, I'll use one of those just now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much the length that I've taken off there to start with. So that'll be pretty much the length of the fly. But to get a real nice tapered fly, which has a sort of a nice taper to it, what you'll actually do, you take your clump like so, and you take your finger in the middle and just pull it out, then let your finger slip a little bit, and then just pull, so you have quite a nice taper. You see the taper there? Take your fingers down the end, run fingers down the end like so, and it's quite nicely tapered, so quite easy. Find the center of that. When you tie it on, tie it directly on the top. First wrap, 2, 3, okay? Now, a lot of the times, the guys, what they do is they just take that, all right, and then they just wrap, okay? Now, that material it's quite flat. What I do is, I've now split the material. I then take the material and split that in half again, all right? So split that in half, where it folds, 1 wrap, 2 wraps, and then take this one, and instead of tying over it, I'll tie in front of it, but tying backwards. So you're actually not tying over the material, you're tying the material down. And what you'll do is, after a couple of these, you'll see how much more volume you get from just one thing. So we'll do that now. Some more. That's the length of the fly now. So now, the next piece, maybe a little bit too much.
So you are not using the whole packet for...
No. I mean, one of these...
As me.
No, one of these here will last me probably 15, 20 flies. Okay, if I'm blending them, because I'm blending a lot of colors these days. Then what I'll do is I'll take clumps of so much, and then if I'm blending sort of the blacks, then I'll take a clump of that and then lay out 6 clumps of that, and each clump add a little bit more black to each clump so that the shading actually goes up. So I'll take that clump, cut that, like so. So that was the first length that you had. All right. If I did the same again, I would have the same length. So what you do is you just cut maybe 3/4 of an inch off. You know. Same again. Spread it a little bit. Pull it out. Relax it. Pull it out. And you've got quite a nice taper, which is a little bit shorter than the other one. If you see, you can see now. It's just a little bit shorter. Same again. Place that on top, like so. Take that.
And you mostly use that yellow Kevlar.
You know, I use anything. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. For pike, it makes no difference. All right. What I do though is, all right, I try and use something that's quite strong, because if you're using bucktail, you do want to pull down. But I've gotten into using the Kevlar, and there's the 75D Uni, 75D I think it is, and it's really strong. Okay, you don't have to pull down quite tight on this. You just, you know, it is strong cord. Then just fold it over again. You can see I'm starting to get a little bit more sort of volume on the top, and then again, you don't fold over the top like so. Fold underneath and back, so that you're actually not folding over the knot like that. And now that's set. Now what I'll do is I'll take the head cement, and with every sort of tie, I'll just take a blob of head cement and just tie that on. And just once as you go along, then it bonds everything really nice and tight. Now you turn that over like so, and then we'll do the bottom. The bottom as well will be just a little bit shorter than normal. Same again. Strip that out. You know, with all your bait fish, you can do this as well, and it's quick, simple, and you can tie. Once you get proficient in this, you can tie 10, 15 of these, and they'll last you the whole season. So we'll cut that inch off there. Just take that in the middle, pull that, then just slacken your fingers a little bit, and pinch it again, then pull, slacken, and so you get quite a nice taper. And then just neaten the back end up as well. Sometimes with slinky fiber, you need to do this quite a bit to get the taper. Stick that on there, and tie 2, 3 wraps. Take that, split that, like so. There, and that one, and there. Okay, I'll do head cement. That. Turn that back over. Now, you pretty much, once you've split this between there, you're starting to get a real nice tapered fish. All right. We'll do a bit more green first because I like to split up it. I'll show you a bit with the blending just now. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do a bit of blending for you now and show you what I mean. So take, say, a clump like this, nice clump, and take that, and then take, I don't know, a quarter of that or a third of that in black. Like, maybe that's a little bit too much, but we'll just have a look. And then place it on the top, like so. Hold it tight and take the cover and then take it down the end like that and then twist it. It takes a while, especially if you're blending sort of silver, steelhead silver with you know, natural belly color and some blacks. You can see once you just keep on turning it over, the black starts to blend in to the green. And now, as you say, when you start to put that on, okay, you can start, we'll add this color now, and then I'll take one clump off, like so, and I'll take that. I'll snip, say 1.5 inches off, okay? Take that, pull out, and then we'll tie this on the top. So then, one wrap, tight, and then because this is quite thick, you can actually split that like so. 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, and then split it again, you know. You can split it again, and you'll see why I do that is because it really gives the fly a little bit more volume to the fly. Let me just tie it on there. Okay. You can see I haven't really used a lot of material, and I'm starting to get quite a nice shape of a fish. For if you'd have tied those down, that material would have still been looking like that. So you're really trying to actually get volume into the fly. This could be split a little bit more better between there.
That's nice, and it's also more easier to cast.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're trying to look at the weight aspect of it as well, because you don't want your flies to be weighing a lot. With these here, look, it's the same material, but what I do is to give the fly a little bit of bulk at the front, okay, and to give it some more movement, I then palmer a marabou feather. So what I would do is now palmer a marabou feather, all right, on, so that majority of the marabou feather would now be here. I then add some more synthetics. So you can see as I split and I've added the synthetics, the marabou is in between the actual synthetics itself, it bulks up the front of the fish, so that what it generally does as well is that the fly doesn't just go, it drops and then everything starts to move as well. If you're going to add eyes, all right, as well on your flies, you know those big rattling eyes that you get from toy shops? A lot of the times if I fish with eyes on, I put one of those big rattling eyes on the one side and one of these eyes on the other side. So what it does, it forms, like aerodynamically wise on the fly, when you strip it back, because the one side of the fly has got this big eye on it, the fly automatically goes like that. So when you strip, the fly dips. So you'd be stripping along and the fly is going like that all the time. So you're giving the fly something extra and it's not costing you or adding you any more weight. All right, so we've got that here. So now what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more black. Not much, but just a little bit more black.
Do you normally tie tinsel inside of these fabrics?
Yeah, I don't use a lot of flash, hey, when I'm tying with these things. I'll add maybe a little bit of crinkle or flasher buoy or whatever, just a little bit. If the fly is going to be an all flash fly, then just use all flash. But less is more, I say. You know, I mean, a lot of the times the materials that you're getting has got that shimmer to it as well. You can get materials that of course shine and shimmer, and they do give it that more of an attractiveness. But I don't add a lot of flash to my flies. I don't feel the need. You know, it's firstly they cost a lot of money for what you get, and at the end of the day, I don't think flash is going to be the major aspect of your fly. You know, you really want the fly to have a lot of movements, and that's why I try to. You can see now that is a little bit darker. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll take half of that there, and see this. Cut that much off now. And then same again, just lift it up and loosen your fingers, spread it to the side, tie it on. You can see now that's about that length. 1, 2, 3. Split the hairs. Try and keep it all centralized as well, you know, on the top of the hook shaft. There. Maybe underneath now. Yeah, and, you know, cotton, you just use something strong. It can be black, red, brown. My flies that I sell, of course, then I try and keep it color coordinated, but in general, what I'm fishing with, I never fish with flies with eyes. It's just a waste of time. If you're not going to epoxy them on, then eyes, you don't need them. I catch all my 90% of my fish with flies that don't have any eyes on. You know, saltwater flies, yes. If they're really shiny eyes, maybe it'll give something for the pike to aim at. But I don't think eyes, for me personally, a lot of guys believe in eyes, but no. For me, I don't bother with them. You catch more pike, as many pike without flies, without eyes on. Okay, so that's pretty much the shape. We'll do one more underneath here, and we'll do a chartreuse one again.
How about those metal eyes which are some weight?
Dumbbell eyes. Yeah, you can add the dumbbell eyes. I used to use dumbbell eyes until I started to get sinking. Like a bit like a jig. No, but that's why I found these eyes so much better now than because you can actually slide them once you've tied, slide them on, and then just tie the front of that, and it works like dumbbell eyes, you know. Okay, so we'll just cut a bit of that. Tie that on.
saying that that's almost like our fishing club's most famous trout fly at the moment. You can see it.
Yeah, you know, I have a friend of mine who was a teacher. He's a teacher in Kuru, and I can't remember what the name of the river is, quite close to Kuru. But he uses this kind of streamer for brown trout there on the river and catches lots, man, with, you know, 120 centimeter streamers for very, very similar to that, you know. Okay.
We have one guy who's very famous catching big trouts, and he uses that size.
Does it? That size. That's so nice, yeah. Okay, so last bit. I'll add just a little bit more black to this one. Just like that. This, it's a marriage saver here. Yeah, my friend makes these vices in South Africa, and when I saw that it actually came with this, you know, it was the best thing that could have happened in my house. Yeah, it really, really was. Okay, so we'll just taper this in. The last one, what I like to do is with the last section, I like to actually have that more or less the full length of the fly. So I'll just pull a little bit more out at the end. You can add a little bit of flash on the top, okay? And I'll split that one maybe 3 times, because to try and keep it all level on the top. So, and then split that again. 1, 2, 3, and then roll that over. Underneath. Okay, you can see by actually not tying down over the material, you've actually used very little now, and you've got a lot of bulk. Okay, when that hits the water, it does go quite thin, but you've still got more of a bulk to it. And to finish it off, of course, you just take a last bit of lateral line, a little bit of black on the end. And, you know, that's the reason why I don't use synthetics all that much, because you waste a lot, you know. You really do waste so much. Although, you know, I've been here all that time, and I didn't know Vision actually sold flight time materials. And all that time that I've been here, I had no idea that they sold flight time materials. When you have a look at their new place now, I thought, God, you sold flight time materials here? Yeah, big stockists of flight time materials. Okay, so.
Originally from OPM, but
Yeah, from OPM, yeah, that's right, yeah. Okay. And just build up the front a little bit. Black. Add cement.
Is this lacquer or?
That's just, yeah, it's just head cement lacquer, yeah.
There in the back.
No, I'm looking for the whip finisher. Oh, yeah. Nice guy. Jeez. So yeah, just a couple of, I like to whip finish twice with a pike fly. Just whip finish twice, 2 or 3 turns, 4 turns. A couple of, maybe if you want to stick eyes on. Head cement again. You can super glue it. I just like to add just a little bit of head cement, and that's pretty much it. For you can do this with slinky, with microfibers, with any sort of fiber, and pretty much the shape. Once you've taken the shape, you know, you can got the shape, and it's quite easy and really simple to tie. You know, I would, you know, if I was at home, yeah, of course, you take a little bit longer time. You can add a little bit extra to the sides to give it a little bit of bulk as well. But if you're looking to tie flies, all you have to remember is just taper the material, and with each time that you add more, just cut ½ an inch off each piece, and then you get a really nice tapered fly. Instead of something that you just cut and then just add onto the fly itself, you know, and then you think, oh, it doesn't look so, it will still catch fish. But I think aerodynamically wise as well, the fly, you use less materials that way, and you can probably tie, what, 20, 30. With that, you can take a magic marker. From there, you take the magic marker and you can make perch stripes, like the other one that I've got here. I don't know where it went, but you saw that bait for here, like that. So you just take a magic marker and just put the stripes down the side, so you've got a perch pattern. You can add a little bit of you know, Arctic fox to the sides, to the front, to the underneath, just to give it a bit of movement. But in general, that's probably one of the easiest ways to tie a synthetic bait fish pattern. And I mean, that will catch you trout as well.